There's a low bar for dignity in the world today, so you can get it pretty cheaply.
Mm. Yeah, but if you don't have it, buying it seems expensive.
True.
And the gig economy
is the way.
You know.
You gonna gig some dignity?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gignity.
Gignity.
Already have a title for the show.
I thought the coaster as a metaphor was a good title for the show.
We're rattling them off. Let's go.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so just prepare to...
It'll be great.
It'll be perfect. Yeah, so just prepare to...
Y'all motherfuckers don't watch us play throughout the year, to tell you the truth. I'm gonna be real with you, and I don't care if I get fined.
That train is off the track.
I feel like you can't just like jump through Neptune and be okay.
Just prepare to...
What the show needs is more dogs and bears and chickens and stuff.
Yeah, so just prepare to be awash in unbeatable goodness.
Welcome, Pacer fans. You're listening to the Undebeatables, your semi-weekly Pacers podcast. Today is November 6th, and this is episode 609. Coming from Indianapolis, Indiana, I'm your host, Joey Gaffrida, the man behind the dials and season ticket holder. Former season ticket holder.
There you go.
What? Given an infinite amount of time, I'll become the season ticket holder again.
That's true.
This show, we're going to discuss a 1-1 week with games against the Beacons of Light, Brooklyn Nets, and the Miami Heat. Joining me this show are all three of our analysts, coast to coast, like buttered toast. First, from Indianapolis, Indiana. It's sorry, this is.
You can just look at him.
Yeah, I know. Well, there's like things. There's like there's an intermediary. So first from the high school home of Jason Triplett. It's the doctor, Jason Triplett.
What is up, Pacers fans? What is up, Undebeatables in the house? Undebeatacon. Shout out to you guys. I haven't seen this guy in person for 3 years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
crazy.
Way too
since your
long.
wedding.
I know. It's
Way
nuts.
too long. From Indianapolis, Indiana, he's our in-house bartender, mixing up the drinks, and the Evan Williams. It's John Colson.
What is up, Pacer Nation? What's up, guys? Yeah, we've settled on Unbeatacon 12, right? You know with that?
Or whatever.
We did math.
Yeah. Well, you mathed.
I mathed.
We laughed.
Yeah. And from Indianapolis, Indiana, in the Midwest, it's our enforcer, John Harper.
Prost.
Prost. Cheers. All right. So it's been, this is our first post Undebeatacon, so we all are together. We're in the same room. We are going to, tonight we're going to the Dollop, and tomorrow we will be going to the Pacer game. And I'm excited about that, but as part of Undebeatacon, contractually, we have a lot of content generation.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So
To do extra.
yeah, we're here. You know, this is a work trip. You know.
That's how we write it off on the taxes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I honestly, I think we just, when the four of us together, we produce great content anyway.
Sure.
So probably should just be recording ourselves constantly.
Yeah. No.
It's not what we're doing.
Cool.
Joey used to do that. You just
Oh.
slap on the remote
the
recorder.
handheld?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I did have the, that thing, the battery, like battery acid, went through and killed it.
Really?
So yeah.
Oh god.
And I think I only used it really when we did trips, and batteries sat for a long time, and they killed it.
Yeah.
Mm.
But,
Remember, we got some great audio out of eating out in San Antonio.
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
There's a lot of eating out of San Antonio.
There was
clips.
a lot of discussions, a lot just with anybody. If they servers,
Anybody who would talk to us.
yeah. If you were taking care of us at your restaurant, you were going to be in the show.
We had them all sign releases, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Verbal releases.
Yeah. Colson's
That's
legal
what
department.
she said. I don't know.
God.
I guess
It didn't even work. It doesn't work.
kind of. It's San Antonio. I think that there's.
Yeah.
Josh Primo might have something to say about that. But
Yeah.
a little too soon.
Too soon.
Too soon.
Well, before we get into the show, we'd like to remind listeners they can support us. We're still the longest running Pacers podcast on the planet.
And my understanding of this is no one can ever catch us.
Yes, that's right. We have 609 episodes plus some.
I mean, they're gonna have to kill us all. They want that moniker.
Right. I guess that's true. I feel like we could have like peace talks or something like that, but you know what? It's 2022. We do not do that anymore.
We don't. Yeah, no, we don't negotiate.
There's no room for reason debate.
So
No.
if you want to support us, the ones who will not negotiate, head over to patreon.com/undebeatables, and you can support us for as little of $1 per month. And Colson has been on me. He's the money guy, and he's been pushing hard. He said, "Hey, look, inflation's going up. The cost of podcasting is going up. The bits and the bytes." He's always talking about the bits and the bytes.
Right.
He said, "We're moving them through the airwaves." He said, "Hey, price is going up everywhere." And I said, "John, this show is for the people. $1 per month. That's where we start."
I think that's fair, but if they want a T-shirt, they need to donate a little bit more.
It's true. And the prices for that didn't go up, too. So, koozies, flat rate, But we got Gen 2 t-shirts coming out. TBD is the date we've got. So, set that on wax.
Very specific.
Yep. All right, guys. We had just 2 games of Pacer basketball this past week. The first one was against the beacon of light, the Brooklyn Nets. This game, Pacers, it was a back-to-back at Brooklyn with the Nets, and Brooklyn took this one down. This was Monday, October 31st, on Halloween. Duarte looking real good. 30 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. But he was up against Kevin Durant, who dropped 38 on our heads, plus 9 rebounds, 7 assists. Buddy Hield with 22, looking pretty good. Kyrie Irving, I think he's I don't know, what kind of leader do you think he is? Is he...
I feel like generational.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Strong words. He dropped 28 on us, and Nick Claxton put 19. But so Pacers lose this one, and then they get 4 days off and head to Miami. And traditionally, this was a game at home on later in the week. And normally when the Pacers play Miami, if it's away and you have time off in between, they're at the club, morning, noon, and night, and they lose that game. But this one at home, looking good. I
think Miami went out to
They went to the clubs here. Right.
Mm-hmm. Probably.
Yeah, so Pacers win this one in a tight one, 101-99. At the buzzer, they pull it out. Buddy Hield drops 25, Tyler Hero 29 points. So a 1-on-1 week of basketball. Chris Duarte, 0 points. I think his grade 2 sprain probably had something to do with that, but he is out for 4 to 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So 1-on-1 week of Pacers basketball. We lose Chris Duarte. Jason, how do you feel? What's your takeaway from the week?
Well, in some ways, this was exactly what you want from your Indiana Pacers this year. I thought the Brooklyn got up by a lot. There was a lot of controversy surrounding the Nets over the weekend. We can talk about why that was a little bit later, I guess. But they came out and I think needed to make a statement to the NBA that they're actually a basketball team.
They were capable of beating the rebuilding Pacers.
Yeah.
Who had just beat
in
them
at least 2 tries.
Yeah, exactly.
And so they came out with a lot of force and got up, I don't know, a lot, 18, 20 or something like that. Pacers.
24. That was a lot.
24, okay, yeah. So, I was proud of the team. They fought back, got themselves back in it. I think tied it up at one point.
No panic.
Yeah, exactly. got feisty and then got out executed down the stretch, and that's exactly what you want from a young team. To Wembanyama. They tried to do the same thing on Friday. Kind of were in control of that game for much of the first half. Buddy Hield exploded for 22 points in the first half, hitting a bunch of threes, and then got held in check by Miami's defense, and Miami stormed back, tied it up at one point, but the Pacers were feisty. I mean, young guys, Nemhard played a really good game.
Had the game-winning defense.
Yeah, Matherin made some tough shots. Buddy Hield hit a clutch three. And then we tried to set it up so Hero could beat us at the buzzer. And he just wasn't up to the task.
Hard working too hard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Good thing for the Pacers. And then, Duarte really recognizing his role, scores 30 in the Brooklyn game. Was like, this is way too good. I gotta lay in this foot, get myself out for 4 to 6 weeks. I don't know. What did you think? What did you think, Colton?
I expected to lose to Brooklyn, but watching that game, like I actually kind of really got into it, and I thought, oh yeah, we're gonna beat them again. This is gonna be so satisfying, because I loved beating them in the previous game, and we got out to a slow start, which we've been doing. But you're right, crawled back in, and it was close enough down the stretch. I thought maybe they'd collapse. So I was disappointed in that loss, even though I know we're kind of rooting for losses. But to our credit, we got a coach fired. So Steve Nash was parted ways with the Nets organization the next day. I feel like part of it is that we beat them the first game. The second game, we almost beat them again. We came back. Like, if they'd blown us out by 40, maybe Steve Nash still has a job.
I don't think Steve Nash wants a job. I don't think wants that job. I mean, can you imagine dealing with that every single day? That sounds awful.
Yeah. Probably no right answers for a coach in that situation, but whatever he was doing, it weren't working very good. That was a super fun game. Watching Duarte finally have his breakout game this season was really something to watch.
Great.
Doing it against, just a transcendent superstar like Durant was. I mean, he was really playing point for point with Durant. I mean, Durant clearly had the more well-rounded game.
That's a hot take, but okay.
But I mean, he was really. He left it all out there. It was, really cool to see him, make some shots. He was out there with the heat checks, and the stroke was going. The defense was it was really fun, and good to see that from him. And then in that Miami game, of course he immediately goes down, which is a bummer for him. The second that he gets going, but boy, Benny Matherin again. 10 free throws in the first half of that game. Yeah. I think he had 8 with 10 minutes to go in the second quarter or something. Yeah. That guy is such a beast out there.
Yeah, didn't he get half of our free throws for the team, something like that?
Probably, yeah.
Close to it.
Yeah, I mean he ended up 10 to 12 from the line. Another 23 points.
Yeah, he attacks the rim like a vet.
He does. He does.
Right? He goes out seeking contact so that he can get to the line.
Now, worth noting that they were without Jimmy Butler in this game.
Yeah. He was afraid of us.
He was scared.
He was out scared.
He thought T.J. Warner was still on our roster and wasn't up for it.
Yeah. They were also down Oladipo, who didn't want to play. He was scared of our crowd.
That's true. Yeah, smart man.
And Jovic was out too. So they were a little shorthanded. But a solid win for these guys. I mean, holding an NBA team under 100 points is just always a good.
That doesn't happen anymore.
Always a good box to check, especially at the pace that we like to play.
Right.
We were out there working hard, deep into the rotation. O'Shea Brissett sighting this one.
Right. That's what happens when Duarte goes down. He gets some Brissett.
Yeah. Probably not the game that he wanted to have out there. The effort was great, but not probably what he was hoping for. Darn some more minutes.
Well, we ran a lot of 4 guard lineups in this game. Was it? I think Buddy Hield was playing the 4, or was it Nemhard who was playing the 4? It was one or the other.
Might have been Halvin. Yeah, I mean, Miami plays small, so I think that we were just trying to match up with that.
Yeah.
Especially in the second. So they shot horribly from 3-point range in the first half, and then started catching fire in the second half. So you really had to have small defenders out there that could get out and
pressure them
and defend. Yeah.
And we were pretty well abusing him in the paint all night. It was that's always fun. Turner was having a bit of a rough night. There were some fun plays in there. He was, I think it was in the second half. They're coming up the floor, and Halliburton has the ball. Turner's the trailer. He just missed some shots, and he's got this sweet little, just leaves it off as he approaches the 3-point line, and Turner steps into a three and nails it.
Yeah.
Then immediately the next play gets back in transition with a huge block,
Yeah.
which is just feeding off, Halliburton having that faith in him, just offense leading to defense.
Yeah.
It's cool to see those guys looking out for each other like that.
And he did something that
It's like old school.
Yeah.
this is like recording back in the old days.
Right.
Wait till we get some church bells.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No, I felt like we were giving the ball to Turner on mismatches, so he could score over smaller guys, which is something that, Turner doesn't like to play in the post, even when they're smaller matchups, but we were doing that, and he was, able to hit a couple jumpers, turnaround jumpers, so.
Yeah.
That's good. Turner is playing very well defensively, but he's still, outside of that first game with the 27 points,
Yeah.
he looks a little rusty.
Yeah. He ended up 7-9 in this one. I was a little
Okay.
surprised to see that because it seemed like he started off kind of slow, but
Yeah.
he was doing a good. He had a lot of size out there.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. When you're playing small,
Yeah.
we're gonna, also 9 attempts is kind of what he's gonna end up with. We run a guard heavy offense,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, but just buddy, man. Is this 5 games in a row of 20 plus for him or something? Guys just
Right.
If
balling.
we want to lose, we have to trade him. He's just a baller, man. He just loves to throw the ball
Well, he just
in the
wants
hoop.
to chuck it.
Yeah.
And he definitely can get dangerously hot and hit too many 3-pointers in a game.
Oof.
Just a flamethrower in that first half in the Miami game. Yeah. He was
You hear that,
checking
LeBron?
all
He's a
over the
laser.
place.
You
He's
should
a
trade first round
laser.
draft pick.
Yeah, I think LA should look long and hard at that trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so should we talk about this article or podcast that came out that Turner advocating for himself, I guess, like saying he should
Yeah,
Pacers should relook at the LA trade and maybe trade me to LeBron. I want to play with him.
I think it's certainly worth a discussion. Jason, I thought you had a good point when we talked about it earlier. Just saying that you can see where he's just advocating for himself. Sort of he wants to be in a situation where he can succeed. And I think playing with LeBron is if you get to like help move that along, I feel like that's something good for your career. You're going to learn a lot from the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get some background on exactly what the play was here?
So he was on a podcast. Was it the Woj report or something? I don't know. They were interviewing him, and basically he just started talking about how he'd be real fine playing for the Lakers, and how he thinks it'd be great for his career. Basically, he's ready to do it. He's ready for the Pacers to trade him, essentially. And it felt a little backstabby, but it's hard to blame the guy since we've been offering to trade him to the Lakers for the last 5 years.
Publicly.
Open secret in the
Yeah,
NBA is that
yeah.
he's on the trade block and has been for 4 years.
Right.
On and off.
And they keep. Recently, like this, said he absolutely will be on our team opening day and beyond that.
Yeah.
LA, call me back.
Between now and then, we are taking all offers. I have
do
a
you have
question.
the quote there?
I said, if I'm the Lakers, I take a very hard look at this with the position you're in, Turner said. Is that the quote you're talking about? Or?
It's the one after that.
Okay, I know.
That's also probably not a great play to be calling out Pelinka's personnel moves today. I don't know if that's going to ingratiate you at all.
He said, I know what I can provide for a team. My leadership, my shot blocking, and my three-point ability.
3-point ability.
And just my
In
ability to make
words
plays out there on the floor. And I take a very long look at it. But as far as pulling the trigger, I get paid to shoot. I'm not paid to make these calls, so I couldn't answer that.
I think he also gets paid to block.
Yeah.
He gets paid to do.
I had a question from contractual. Is this tampering? Like, can players openly like advocate for themselves to get traded to other places? I suppose they can, right?
I mean, they do it all the time.
They advocate to leave their current situation.
And then they give their teams
And then they give their
like
list.
a list of where they want to go. Like,
But they don't do it like
Publicly.
directly.
Yeah.
but we always find out about it.
Well,
So
but
Yeah,
the
but there's a
problem is
difference.
that he's a free agent, and so by saying I would play for the Lakers, he's saying potentially I would re-sign with the Lakers.
so that is
And
tampering.
that one would think would fall under the tampering.
Yeah.
Right. For him to say it direct, it's one thing to say it to the team and then
And
it
then
gets
the team
leaked out
leaks it.
or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
if it gets leaked, it gets leaked. But like,
Yeah, you can say whatever you want, right?
But actually, he's not saying. Basically, he's saying I just think the Lakers should take a long, hard look at it. That's all he's saying.
I mean, Harper.
all right, Kyrie.
Okay, I guess what I wanted to talk about related to this story is anybody upset at Miles Turner? I mean,
No.
no?
No.
Okay.
I mean, after what the organization's been doing, I feel like this is fair. This is fair play here. Like,
Do you,
I think he should be a little bit more probably circumspect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
his
mean-
agent would probably like him to approach that slightly differently, but
yeah,
I
do I think
if
it's the
anything,
right
I'm
move?
upset because he's driving his trade value down because
Right.
the Lakers know that
they would happily go there and
he is unhappy in Indiana and wants
Yeah.
to get out, right?
Well, but I mean, if he's like, look at all the things I can bring, and then he goes and lays an egg the next time, the next game he plays. Like, I don't know. He's always been inconsistent, and
I mean, he thinks he's a good 3-point shooter. So
right.
I mean, but you know, they have the tape on him. They know who he is. They're not gonna that interview. They're gonna take maybe his intent from that, but they're not gonna be like, oh, they're not gonna learn that he's a good
they're
3-point
like,
shooter
oh,
from.
we had him so underrated
They're like,
on
oh,
our
we had
board.
you. Yeah.
He said he was good.
Do you
Sacramento might take him at his
Yeah,
word.
exactly.
yeah,
He's pitching the wrong squad right now.
Right.
Let's reunite Sabonis and Turner. And see what
Yeah.
happens.
That'd be great.
Oh yeah.
that works so well.
And they're like, you know what? We could run 2 bigs. We could try that.
Dang, no one's ever tried that.
yeah.
But see, that's what he'd be going to in that situation in LA, and
Maybe it's too much better to be.
yeah, no, I agree. But I mean, it's also way more attention on him. Like, is he going to do well under that pressure?
I mean, I think one thing LeBron is super good at is making sure that,
The linelight's
guy-
only on him, not on anybody else.
yes,
Yeah.
and certainly that's only to protect his guys.
Sure.
And not because he loves the spotlight.
No,
obviously.
it's a little bit of both, maybe. Well, I don't know.
No.
No, you're right.
I mean, he sheltered Kyrie from
Protected him from himself for a
Yeah.
few years.
I mean, and since he's left the Cavs, it's been a slippery shit show. Is what
Yeah.
That's a picture.
yeah.
Did
I don't know.
I tell you that story?
What? No.
I've heard this story.
Why do you have a story?
So I'm leaving Amanda's house, and she's got this huge backyard and this hill, and my car is parked at the bottom of it. It's late night, and I've got the dog on the leash, right, and she's pulling pretty hard, and we're going down the hill. I'm going pretty fast, and I hit a wet pile of dog shit, right,
Ugh.
and so I slip backwards so hard that I slip and I fall, like my back just falls in the middle of the wet dog shit.
Ugh.
So,
Podcast gold.
Yes.
my glasses are blown off in the process, and I blow through one of my flip flops. So I have
Oh, good, you're wearing flip flops.
so I have one shoe and
One flip flop.
one flip flop and no glasses and a shit covered
And
shirt.
tons of feces.
And so I put the dog in the car. She knows she's in trouble at this point. She's
This is
like very nice.
This is a metaphor, right?
And so I take my other flip flop off. Again, it's dark, and I take my shirt off and I just throw them in the yard, and I drive home with no shirt and no shoes, right? And I wake up in the morning and I go, "Where are my glasses?" So I had to go back to her house the next day,
Oh.
find my glasses in the yard. Luckily, they weren't broken. And then I just threw away my shirt and my flip flops.
The better part of that story is you were at a party, so you couldn't.
I couldn't go back in. Yeah, no, I was.
Help me.
No, I just had to leave.
Do you think somebody like at the party was like they found one flip flop and a pair of glasses?
Well, no. Luckily, I woke up really early and they were still asleep.
and
So
they were
the shit covered shirt and broken flip flops were just they never noticed.
They weren't saying like, where's my dog shit?
Okay, so that's the slippery shit show. I think
Sure.
Going for.
So speaking of slippery shit shows, should we get back to the Brooklyn Nets and tell you about they,
Good lord.
So they fired Steve Nash, and we haven't talked about this yet. They have now hired. It's official, or
I don't think it's
just
official yet.
People are reporting that they're going to now hire Ime Udoka, who was suspended for a year by the Boston Celtics.
Like gross misconduct.
Well, I guess the details are unclear of
Right.
exactly what he did, but an
Seems
inappropriate
like-
consensual sexual relationship with
Seems
a.
like maybe he hit the owner's wife.
Oh, okay.
And it also seems
Wow.
like there's reports of inappropriate. It wasn't completely consensual. She was upset by certain things that happened.
Wow. Okay, so that's juicy. So the Nets decide to add this story into their locker room along with all of the Kyrie Irving.
They're trying to take the heat off Kyrie.
It's bound to work.
That is a tall task.
Being a beacon of light and sharing with us a documentary that he half watched that also had horrible anti-Semitic messages. What do you think about this move, Harper? Good move for the Nets? This is going to save their season?
I don't understand that one at all. I mean, he's definitely the most talented guy out there. I mean, I
Sure.
guess you have to admit that. But, yeah, I mean, when you've got an organization that already seems to be in shambles, hiring a guy who's on a slippery shit slope.
Yeah.
Shit show?
Yeah, it's shit slope.
I don't know. And is this even legal? Like, isn't he under contract still while he's suspended? Like, how does this even work?
Boston would have to release him.
Which I'm sure they'll happily
And
do.
they
Oh,
said,
no,
yeah,
but yeah.
they didn't even want compensation. Apparently, normally, to make this move, they would get like a draft pick or something, or cash considerations.
Yeah.
And
They're
they
like,
have
we'll
said,
pay you to get rid of this guy.
they have said, we want nothing. We don't care.
Yeah.
You can just
Which,
have
I
him."
mean, Boston is, unquestionably one of the best run organizations in the league right now. Who, by the way, also got a ton better after they parted ways with Kyrie, just for the record. But to take a coach that they have spurned and say, this is the guy that's going to fix it for us, I just, it's hard for me to wrap my head around what they're even thinking they're trying to do.
Well, and also, it wasn't like this happened at the beginning of the summer. This happened like 6 weeks ago that he was suspended, or like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So this is, I'm sure he had plenty of time to learn his lesson.
I mean, it's confusing to me, though, because, Sean Marks is a well-respected GM. No?
I mean, Durant wants him fired.
And he was. I guess. I don't know.
I mean, he's mostly done what his players wanted him to do.
Oh, well, when you think about what he's done, is he's taken a young team, built culture, and then flipped all those things into superstars to give yourself a chance to win a title. Like, that's kind of what they pay him to do.
And, he was doing it with the guys, presumably, that Durant and Irving wanted to have. Like, this team has, or at least had, all of the pieces to win a championship.
Well, I feel
And
like
they just
this
didn't do it.
This is the reason why Durant and Irving should not be in the front office.
That's true, but Sean Marks was hired to do a job, and he did his job.
Right.
The fact that the guys who, I suspect that the owner of the Nets, that Joe Tsai, probably was on board for, let's let Durant and Irving choose their superstars
And play, you have to pay DeAndre Jordan $40 million, sure, whatever it takes to get Durant here, right?
We'll make
you
it
just
up.
do that stuff, right?
Yeah, he's basically like moved the money around.
Yeah. Well, there's no doubt that you would, at the time, move heaven and earth to get Kevin Durant on your team, right? Even though he was sat out a full year recovering from that Achilles injury. And he's come back and been, I would say, almost just as lethal of a player.
Is he the third leading scorer in the league right now?
Yeah, and he's just like effortlessly just dominating people.
And really,
But-
not much help.
Right. Right. The thing that is interesting about Durant is he sort of wanted out of Golden State because he kind of wanted his own show or whatever. But he definitely is not the leader on that team, right? Like he's not the lock. He's not setting the culture.
No,
Right?
Well, that's like
So I would say not in the locker room, but yes on the floor.
He's
It
the
seems
only
like the only guy.
He's the
playing
only guy
hard
that
on
plays
the floor.
hard.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Well, Joe Harris.
Right. Claxton occasionally, but
I think Claxton plays hard.
sure.
Yeah.
That's about
Him
it.
and Harris.
I think-
But the fact that he like doesn't have control of Kyrie,
no,
doesn't got enough his mouth.
He's
No one,
handpicked sidekick, right?
Yeah, exactly.
No one has
Or
control
like
of Kyrie.
keeping, well, right,
But that was-
or keeping James Harden happy.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
Or helping to fix Ben Simmons or something like give him confidence or
Right,
stuff like there's
right.
not.
But I think Ben Simmons is a professional basketball player.
cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, we haven't. It's a shot. Shout out, Mike. How you doing?
Shout out.
Yeah, for patrons, you can see what the new drinking games are if you join our Slack community. We didn't talk about while we're on the slippery shit show that is the. So Ben Simmons has been negligible this year, right? Like
He's been horrible.
Yeah.
He's a shell of a basketball player.
Right.
He's not a professional basketball player.
Right. Well,
I don't have to drink for the opposite of.
Oh, you don't? Oh man.
he should be a no. So, but I mean, yeah, he's had games with more fouls than points, and has been you miss him on the floor. He can defend, but he's not there, and
Now he's injured.
sure.
I don't know why.
Well,
he
right,
did, but
going
he
into
probably
the season, that was supposed to be the number one storyline for the Nets, and now we're
Wish it was.
We're two slippery shit shows added on top of that. Like, it's crazy.
And it's not clear that Kyrie's ever even going to play for these guys again yet on some level. I mean,
Yeah,
he's got a
no.
road back.
They did it. I did see that there was a list of they publicly listed the checklist that he had to go down. And
Sure, but one of those things was giving $500,000 to anti-hate.
he tried that once, and they refused
And
it.
ADL said no thanks.
They said
no thanks, bruh.
Yeah.
You don't want your pity money?
So apparently the ADL is between Kyrie and playing basketball again. So
Oh, wow.
if they just say no, thank you.
Yeah.
So they suspended him for 5 games, to indefinitely, like a minimum of 5 games, to indefinitely if he didn't fulfill these certain.
Yeah, and there's
So
like 7
It's
points.
six things. He has to apologize / condemn the movie that he posted a link to.
Did he do that?
Definitely not. He still hasn't even said that he's not a flat earther.
Right. Donate $500K to anti-hate causes.
And again, that was rejected.
Do sensitivity training.
No way he's doing that.
Do
Oh, yes,
anti-Semitic
keep doing
training.
that.
No way he's doing that.
Meet with the Anti-Defamation League and Jewish leaders.
He will do that too. I just don't know if it's going to go well.
Right. And meet with Joe Tsai to demonstrate understanding.
Oh, right, because he's been ghosting Joe Tsai.
Right.
Right. Nice.
Yeah.
It's always good to ghost the guy that pays for the checks.
I feel like when you have those meetings, when you say like, I'm the real Jewish person here, like I don't know how that work is gonna like. I don't know how you like. I don't know how you're gonna like.
Yeah. Explain Judaism to the ADL.
Right.
What could possibly go wrong? Oh, to be a fly on the wall.
Well, actually,
Let me tell you about the Torah, buddy.
So what were his quotes that we were sort of joking about? But it was he's the beacon of light. He's a generational leader.
his words.
Yeah,
He knows who he is.
he knows who he is. If you don't understand it, that's your fault.
No, it was more akin to if you don't like what I posted, it wasn't meant for you.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Yeah.
It wasn't meant for you.
Right.
So,
Which
I'm sorry your feelings were hurt.
Right.
it
Yes.
seems to be the basic thing. I mean, it's aggravating because look, at its base, all he did was tweet a link to this movie that I haven't seen, but which, to all reports, is just terrible. And I'm not gonna watch it.
Right. Yeah.
Because I don't want to use any 2 hours of my life like that. But that's all he did, and then he made all of the rest of this himself.
Exactly.
Right?
That's it.
And if he were to go up there and explain to me why this was important, or like what his feelings about it were, or what he was thinking at all, I would be perfectly willing to listen to the guy.
Sure.
He'd
But
be like,
instead-
this thing happened in this movie, and I thought this made me think, and I wanted to share it.
Instead, all he says is, he's sort of obliquely saying that it's really important, but you can't judge me for it. But also, You know, everyone's out to get me. Like, he's just all over the place. And
he's
he
a
doesn't,
generational leader.
and a generational leader. But he wants it both ways, right? He wants to be able to say whatever he wants with no consequences. And that's not how life is for anyone.
Yeah.
So
What was the quote? He responds to any accusations or criticisms of his actions with defiant obscurity.
Opacity.
Opacity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is like, he just throws back a word salad at whatever question is thrown at him, basically.
Yeah. And we literally still don't even know why he took a half a season off last year because he refused to get vaccinated.
Right.
He would never explain why that was. He kept telling us it wasn't because
he's
he was
not an
anti-vax.
anti-vaccine. No,
right?
as far as that's what he says.
So what then is it?
There's
And
some,
again, I'm willing to listen to these arguments, but he's not making them.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Well, and that's and he wants to have an informed debate, right? He's all about like educating himself and drilling down and figuring, getting to the truth or whatever.
Expanding his consciousness.
But it's like, all right, well, let's talk it out, man.
yeah, let's hear it, man. Give me something to start
Let's
with.
get there.
you know who I am. It's like, I certainly do.
I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
I have no idea who this guy is.
Yeah.
I know he acts bizarrely all of the time, and he creates these consequences that he knows are coming, but I don't understand what the end game is.
I don't know if he knows they're coming, but like everyone else does. You can see them coming from a mile away.
No, I think you can. I think he enjoys being quixotic. And I think if he makes a decision that's slightly confusing, and then you come after him, he enjoys being hard to read about it. I think that's part of his MO.
Oh, I think it's worse than that. I just think he's cowardly. I think he believes in a bunch of really crazy shit and is afraid to say it out loud.
Okay.
I think he has no idea I think he thinks he's smarter than he is.
Yeah,
but
he
then
wants to be perceived as complex.
Yeah, but he doesn't actually have the knowledge, so he can't defend his positions, right? Like, I don't.
If you want to be a leader, you have to try.
Right, I agree.
Like, if you want to try and put knowledge out there, like, go nuts. Like,
exactly. That's the thing that's frustrating to me.
Yeah.
About
He has the
this.
platform. Like he's in a
Yeah.
position to do so.
like, yeah, he's this super powerful, rich guy, and all he does is complain about, these cabals of rich, powerful guys out there.
Right. Yeah.
And you're like,
that are
dude,
somehow silencing him, or
And he's like,
you are that guy.
Yeah, he's presented himself as like being persecuted and for like the vaccination stuff. It was like there was a bunch of you know what, I might be conflating him and Kanye again.
It's
am not
hard
sure.
not to.
They're basically the same person. Yeah.
They're sharing quotes now.
I mean, so the thing that has been most frustrating to me about this is the lack of
It's been quiet.
voicing opposition, from other NBA players, right? Like, I understand that the NBPA came out and gave a statement, and CJ McCollum gave a longer statement, but it wasn't actually as, like...
Wasn't full-throated.
Yeah, exactly. It was very, very apologetic for Kyrie that he's
We're
learned his
sorry
lesson.
he's a part of our organization.
Yeah, but...
But he's got votes.
Yeah, but there are people out there with voices that have platforms, like you said, Joey, and they can use them to step into this and sort of raise awareness of why this is such a dangerous thing to do. Right.
Well, apparently LeBron did come. I saw a headline that LeBron came out and said something.
Okay, good.
I mean,
That's good.
what he said, though, is he has done some harm to many people or something.
Yeah.
True. Like, but I mean, even anti-Semites buy shoes, right? Like. All right, team. I feel like we've slipped down the slippery slope of
The crazy NBA world.
yeah.
We didn't even mention Josh Primo, who gets a stern wag of our finger.
Yeah.
He did
Which
not.
maybe we'll
He
just-
did not intentionally expose himself to anyone.
Ugh.
He was
Flap
not
it in the wind.
He was
and had
not
no
even
idea.
aware that his private parts were visible outside of his gym shorts.
His lawyer is.
He's like who was the guy from Arrested Development, the Henry Winkler character? He's like that lawyer.
Oh yeah. The lawyer.
Yeah. You know.
Well, yeah. When he would say, he's like, I have the worst effing lawyers. He'll show up to a case and he had not read anything. He just sat down and was like, so what do we got here? And he's like, you were supposed to read this. Oh, all right. Well, so it was a 1-1 week of basketball.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Pacers.
There's more coming up this week. Monday, November 7th, we are going to be in the building. As the
Guaranteed win
Pacers
then, right?
play against the New Orleans Pelicans, who have actually been off to a super hot start this year.
Zion playing basketball.
He's day to day.
Day to day. Hopefully he is there
Hopefully
today.
that day.
Or tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wednesday, November 9th, again at home against the Denver Nuggets. And Saturday at home, rounding out the homestand against the Toronto Raptors. Very tough week of basketball, gentlemen. What are you guys predicting?
0-3.
0-3. All right.
Sticking to my 0-3.
I'm gonna go 1-2. I'm gonna hope that we get to see a win in person.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
No way we're beating Toronto.
No.
I'm gonna go 2-1.
Whoa, we're gonna take down the Nugs, huh?
Yeah.
I'm bringing a broom to the field house.
Nice.
We're going 3-0 this week,
Nice.
and we're gonna get some people traded because of that. So
Yeah.
I think we need to
Because
force.
it's too much winning.
We need
Yeah.
we need to force the issue. Buddy Hield gone.
Is Carlisle too good? Is he on the block?
Potentially. Yeah.
He's going to.
Lloyd Pierce as the backup coach is also too good. He's gotta go.
His development is happening much too quickly.
His trajectory is too steep.
Yep.
So yeah, we're gonna take this, and it's gonna there's gonna be some self-reflection after this when we're in the middle of the pack at the end of the week, and
That's a bold prediction that that Carlisle's the second coach fired in the NBA this season because we're winning too many games.
I just wish when they
He'll just
fired.
be suspended for the rest of the year.
Sure.
I wish when they fired him, they just outright say like, we're winning too many basketball games here.
Yeah.
And he's gonna say, "I didn't understand that my penis was outside of my pants."
Oh my goodness! All right.
On that note.
On that note, we're gonna get out of here, and we need to get ready for the dollop. So
Carrie.
you can find us on Elon Musk Twitter. We are at Undebeatables.
Are we still on that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
In fact,
We haven't made our stand.
Are we verified?
Do
we have to pay $8
We need
a
to
month?
get more Patreons.
Are we the real Undebeatables?
What if we get somebody to sponsor our Twitter account, the Undebeatables Twitter account, brought to you by Patreon X.
Sure.
I like it.
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
that's
I
a
like
good.
this idea.
That's good.
And
$8 a month.
Yeah.
Your
Sure.
special price for Patreon.
Yeah.
Okay. And do we get to still like write hate speech, or is it like?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean it's Elon Musk's Twitter. We can do whatever
Right.
we want.
Okay. We are on Mark Zuckerberg's Facebook.com/The Undebeatables. I read that their market cap is less than Home Depot now. Their whole company, which is
Meta had a
Yeah,
tough month.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that whole meta thing
yeah.
going real well. I hear people have legs now.
Well, I mean, the fact that we're already in a simulation makes the simulation of the simulation less valuable.
Yeah.
Sure.
Seems redundant.
Mm-hmm.
People have legs, you say?
Yeah, in the metaverse.
Okay.
Yeah. They spent I don't know how many hundreds of millions of dollars
Just
giving
to
people
give-
legs.
Why did you start without legs though? Come on, whose idea was that?
Hey, you got to push the product out, buddy.
But I mean, also, why is it the crappiest graphics in the history of the world? All of it sucks.
That's the
The
best
metaverse.
tech
The
that we
metaverse is
have.
the worst universe there is. I'm telling you.
We are
Out of
on
the infinite universes.
the
Spend like 10 minutes in
undebeatables.com.
Kyrie's head.
There's a contact form there. You can send us a message. And good old email. There's no like drama around email. Shout out at theundebeatables.com.
Does anybody own email?
No, that's the beauty of email.
Nice.
It's
All
not a Gmail account.
No. Wait.
Maybe.
No, it is. No, I am gonna move it.
Okay.
And then we've got T-shirts for sale. And who wants T-shirts? Everybody.
Everybody loves T-shirts. Everybody loves free T-shirts. We're gonna go to the game tomorrow, and the loudest the crowd will be is when they shoot the T-shirts out of the cannon. And so for that very reason, I'm going to give away a T-shirt for the next person that even writes in.
In what way?
I don't know if they write us a comment about how great we. Oh, they have to leave us a 5-star review
Where? Where?
on the website, or no, on the what's the Spotify or Apple, iTunes.
You heard the man.
The next 5-star review we get on any platform, I will send you a
Get on Yelp.
Yes, exactly. Open table, like whatever. I will send you a Schmedium T-shirt.
All right. Well, we'll be waiting with bated breath
I look forward to it.
for whatever that is.
For the architect Donnie Walsh and our once and always Hall of Fame coach Bobby Sinclair. Turn out the lights. The party's over.
Nice. One last reminder to go out and vote, too.
Yeah, do that. Go
Election
vote.
Day on Tuesday.